Question number 2, David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. What recent progress has the government made in its share offer program, and particularly regarding putting everyday New Zealanders at the front of the queue for shares?
Honourable Bill English.
Last week we registered the offer for the sale of a minority shareholding in Meridian Energy. This is the largest initial public offering expected in Australasia this year. The document provides information to help New Zealanders decide whether to invest in New Zealand's largest electricity company. The share offer is expected to open to New Zealanders on Monday the 30th of September and close at 5 p.m. on Friday the 18th of October. The final share price is expected to be announced on the 23rd of November, and we expect Meridian to be listed on the stock exchange on Tuesday the 29th of October. As with other offers in the program, the government has made it clear New Zealanders will be at the front of the queue, and we want at least 85% New Zealand ownership.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, David Bennett.
What offer features are being provided for New Zealand retail investors in the Meridian share offer compared to large institutional or overseas investors?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the government is making it easy as possible for New Zealanders to access information and, if they wish, to buy Meridian shares. The indicative price range for New Zealand retail investors is $1.50 to $1.60 a share, paid over 2 instalments. The first instalment will be a $1 share and the second will be no more than 60 cents a share 18 months later. So the total price for New Zealand retail investors is capped at $1.60 a share, even if institutional and offshore investors pay a higher price. The indicative price range for them is $1.50 to $1.80 and there will be no price cap.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr Speaker, to the Minister, given that his 2011 Cabinet paper stated that $3.1 billion would be raised from the sale of Meridian, why has he not revised the promised $5 to $7 billion to be raised from asset sales, given that he now only expects to receive around $2 billion from the sale of Meridian?
It's a fire sale.
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, as the Prime Minister indicated, I think a week or so ago, we would expect the proceeds to be around the bottom of that range, around the $5 billion mark, which is $5 billion of cash that we will get from New Zealanders investing in a New Zealand company, which we will then reinvest in other public infrastructure. And we're very proud that we can do that investment without borrowing from offshore lenders.
Supplementary question, David Bennett.
What does the Meridian offer document say about forecasts for the company's dividends, and what kind of return would they represent for investors in the share offer?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, given that investors will pay $1 of the issue price up front, they will receive dividends in full during the 18-month instalment period. This provides investors with a higher dividend yield during that instalment period. Meridian is forecasting a gross instalment yield of 13.4% over the first 12 months. The company's underlying gross share dividend yield for New Zealand retail applicants will be around 8.4% to 8.9% for the same period. This is the forecast return if investors pay for their shares in full.
Supplementary question, David Bennett.
What alternative approaches to the share offer program are available?
Honourable Bill English. Order.
There's been some criticism of the share offer program, but we don't take the criticism, the political criticism, seriously, because none of the people who've criticised it have promised to borrow the $5 billion offshore and buy back the company. And I think that means they don't really oppose the asset sales.
Order. 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 The member wants to stay for the balance of question time. Question number 3, Te Urara Flavel.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Kia ora tātou. My question is to the Minister for the Environment. Does she agree with former Prime Minister and architect of the Resource Management Act